ends meet and you're trying to, pay for a lifestyle. You want to keep it. You want to make sure that your kids are okay. So all those things. I remember my wife saying, I just need, we have to have health care, right? That was her biggest concern. It's like, we got to have health care. And I get it. There's two things you can't sacrifice on: education and healthcare. So if you move to a neighborhood, make sure that you seek those things out, because those things will provide a lot for you and your family. But I just was not happy. And you really should, at least, you're gonna have good days and bad days, but you should really enjoy at least what you're doing. So, but once I did make that decision, which I don't believe that anyone thought I would, by the way, but I just, I was ready. I was ready, and you'll know when you are. The craziest part, though, is the clarity that I've gotten since then. I no longer have heart palpitations every single morning, stressed out about what's to come. I was talking to a buddy of mine. I told him I felt like my memory was back, which is just nuts. But sometimes when you're in intense situations and you're sitting in a board meeting and you have all of these stats and these things that you need to discuss and information that you have to have ready on hand, you almost over prepare at times, right? And it can cause like this weird brain fog or freeze. Like if you're asked something on the moment, all of a sudden you just it's almost all the anxiety and the stress like catches up to you in that moment, and it can put you in a tough spot if you don't know how to pivot quickly. Luckily I've learned over the years different methods and ways that I can get beyond that, but still it can be a very stressful moment, and you really just want to get the words out and sound halfway intelligent, so they're not like, hey, get this guy out of here, what's going on? But I've gained a lot of that back, and my buddy was telling me, he said, yeah, of course, you're not thinking about a lot of unnecessary things, right? Over preparing for hours for a conversation that may not even happen. Think about that. And it's not whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, it's just a thing. But the one thing I know now is that that clarity that I received, those are the blessings, right? So when you take time to actually listen to God's voice, and then you do what He's instructed, then He starts to give you these gifts,